All right, welcome to Radio X, blink-182. Mark and Matt,
Hi.
Nice to see you. So it's an honour to have you here. Mark, I know that you're a big fan of the UK and London. We'll talk about what you did when you were over in the UK a little bit later on.
Yes,
so I just want to
absolutely.
fact check that. But first of all, what I will say is a massive congratulations on the album 9.
Thank you.
So huge
you.
success over in the US and here in the UK as well. You said you put your blood, sweat, tears into this one.
We did.
So what makes it so special compared to the others, I suppose?
Well, every album is special unto itself. It's like picking children. You can't have a favorite child. But this record, I think on the last record, we went back to our very roots. We're like, okay, what is a Blink-182 record? And we basically went back to day one. What did we like about our band? And so we recorded an album like that. And on this record, because California was such a success, we turned our back entirely on that and went in a completely different direction and said we want to use completely different sounds. We want to approach our songs a different way. We want to write the songs a different way. And we want to write from the very bottom of our heart, both the good and the bad.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the, just checking out some of the songs. My favourite, Dark Side, popular opinion, I'm sure of that. And I know, absolutely nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Loved
Matt
it.
killed it on that song.
Yeah, for real. And then I Really Wish I Hated You.
Oh, thanks.
Loved that song purely because I can hear the desperation in your voice,
Mm-hmm.
Mark. And then Matt, your little bit at the end, which is my favourite bit, I kind of feel that you're reaching out to someone on behalf of your friend, Mark.
It's
And-
actually very accurate.
Is it? Okay. Who's that person? Because when I first played it on Radio X, we were bombarded with messages that it was a song for Tom.
Well, you know what? Many people have said that, but it's so obviously a romantic song.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like, like I Miss You or a different song or missing a certain time in someone's life, I could get that. But like this song is so obviously romantic, romantically missing somebody, that I guess it makes sense that it would be Tom, but it's not.
Do you still have a bromance with Tom?
I talked to him not too long ago. I
Okay.
talked to him a couple months, right before we left to go out on this tour, actually.
And how is he?
He's good.
Yeah.
Very happy. He seems like
He's in trouble
a
with
good
the US
place.
Navy, I heard.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get arrested for something. He's going to like have possession of some file that he's not supposed to have, or he's going to leak some document that he's not supposed to have leaked. But no, he's really happy. He seems really stoked with all of his. But it's not UFO investigation. I guess it's extra extraordinary kind of stuff.
Yeah. And just whilst we're on the topic, it would be awful if I didn't ask, because as I say, I'm a huge fan. When will we see him back in the frame for Blink? You did say it would happen one day.
I did? I said it would happen one day? I don't know. I'll never
Maybe
say
not in
never.
the near future, but
I don't know. We haven't even talked about it. And like I said, he seems really happy doing what he's doing. And obviously, we're very happy doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the future holds.
we actually were just talking about the fantasy of him actually coming back into the fold of Blink-182, maybe a huge stadium gig, and then he flies in, parachutes in from a UFO. Have you thought about how he rejoins?
I have not, but
No.
that's a genius way to go about it. Maybe that's
There you
the
go.
call.
Perfect.
You got to find one first,
Yeah.
which I think he's doing.
He might have a
That
couple
might
up
be his
sleeve.
plan.
Yeah.
That might
Maybe
be
that's
the
why he's
plan.
working so hard for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just talking about this album, and as I say, I've been a huge fan since the very beginning. So is my brother. And the night before that this was released, I was telling him, I said, I'm going to wait and then I'm going to get it, on my Apple Music. And he said, you know what, Paul, you would buy an album made of crap if it had Blink-182 on it. And I think he meant it in the utmost respect, because you have such a loyal fan base that whatever you do, they will back you 100%. So my next question is, do you ever feel pressure to release an album, I suppose, because you know that your fans will be there with you 100%?
I do feel pressure. And, I feel like we have the best fans in the world. I
Yeah.
feel like our fans have stuck with us through thick and thin, through breakups and new
Yeah,
band
yeah.
members and reforming and all this stuff. But we released a song called Blame It On My Youth as the first single off this record, which to me
Sure.
is a quintessential Blink song. It's, it's about younger times and better times, and, has rad guitar licks in it, and it's a rad song. But for some reason, people didn't react to it well when they first heard it. And there was like all these people saying, you've ruined Blink. This is the end of Blink. This isn't Blink-182 anymore. You ruined that band. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to like every song that we write.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You don't like one, like you say, I've liked your band for 20 years and this one song has ruined your
Yeah,
band for me. I'm
I
like,
think it's kind of the opposite of what you said. I think
Okay.
that Blink has some of the best fans in the world, but also some of the most critical fans in the world. I think it's the opposite.
I
but-
suppose so, because we've grown up with you. We feel that as soon as you release those songs, they're ours or the world's.
They
aren't
are. They are
Yeah.
yours. The second that they're released into the world, they're not our songs anymore. They're everybody else's songs.
What is that like when you're in the studio and there's only a bunch of people that know the songs on the album 9, and then all of a sudden, like overnight, they're unleashed to the world.
It's
and like
actually
the
really
reactions. Do you look at? The night before the album release, do you
I
count
looked
down
the-
the clock?
I looked the day of the album release, and I've mentioned this before, but I try not to live and die by the comment section because
Okay.
it's such a negative place in the first place. But it was really gratifying because all these people who had been like, this album's gonna be terrible, like literally people writing, I'm eating crow. I thought this album's gonna be terrible, and it's one of their best ones, and I love this record, and my expectations are totally blown away, and that feels great.
Yeah. What about the longevity then of the band? Obviously, like you've stood the test of time, and I suppose Matt, if you could answer, obviously coming in the last sort of 4 years or so, can you see why that is for a band like Blink?
I do now. I mean, the only time that I questioned it at all, and I not questioning it, assuming that it was wrong, I just was pleasantly stunned that Mark and Travis had A, so much faith in me, and B, so much faith in the idea and the fans accepting it, which it took a minute, as it should have. It would have been weird if it, all good things take a little bit of effort, and I think I'm very proud to be a part of something and to have proven myself and ourselves collectively as a band. It's very surreal that people love it as much as they do, and it seems like, at least for me, outside and coming into this thing, it feels like it didn't really miss a beat.
Yeah. I think that's how it feels to the fans, actually.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, good. Let's talk about 2019.
Yeah.
You're probably going to look back on this year and think, bloody hell, we crammed in a lot, didn't we?
We
Especially
did.
yourself.
We did cram in a lot this year. It's been a busy year.
Got some Beanie Babies up there, washer dryer set.
Obviously, the big anniversary, the 20th anniversary. What do you think when you look back at, obviously, the album shots of Enema of the State and the press shots, and you see your little baby faces and Travis with 0 tattoos?
I know,
and
we thought Travis was good. We're like, tattooed guy, Travis Barker, and he has like a fifth of what he does now. It's great. Playing this record all summer taught me 2 things. Number one, it's a really good record. Enema of the State, it was a really good record, and playing it live every single night, there was no songs that I got to where I was like, I don't want to play that song tonight.
Yeah.
I wish we could skip that one. Also, there are people coming out to these shows singing every single word who weren't even born when the album came out.
Yeah.
So these are people in their late teens, early 20s that at some point in the past few years picked up Enema of the State, listened to it for their first time, and they felt bonded and connected to it so much that they are still coming out to a show for an album that came out 20 years ago. It's great.
Yeah. Can you remember that time, when you thought, damn, this album really is banging, And when that moment 20 years ago when it was released, you thought, we've got a pretty iconic record here.
I didn't think it was an iconic record at the time. It felt like I thought that we had written a very good record.
Yeah.
Something that we were very proud of, something that we had fun writing, fun recording, fun playing, great time touring. All of our dreams came true with that record. We went from sleeping on people's floors to staying in nice hotels and playing in giant venues and playing in, we went from playing tiny clubs to playing arenas and amphitheaters, and everything came true. It was like that scene in the movie where everything good starts happening. And you hear your song in a shop that you walk into, and you are walking a red carpet, and
and that first
meeting
time,
movie stars.
Yeah, wow. And the first time you hear it on the radio and things like that.
Yes.
I bet that's pretty cool.
It is awesome. It's still awesome. I mean, if I hear a song that I'm not expecting, like I get in a car, I walk into a shop or whatever and hear one of our songs, somebody drives past, blasting it in their stereo, I seriously want to go knock on the window, go, I wrote that song.
Yeah. So look, let's just go back to when you were living here in the UK.
Yes.
You were a beekeeper.
I was.
How did that come about? I mean, so far from being a punk rock star.
I don't know what we bought a farm out in Somerset, and I wanted to keep bees. I don't know why all of a sudden I wanted to keep bees, but it was so fun and so interesting, and how smart the bees are and how scientific the whole thing is. And I don't know, it was awesome. And then to taste honey from our own land was great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then you just thought LA life is calling you back, was it? Or...
Well, our visa
Oh, your
was
visa
up.
ran out.
Our
Oh,
visa
no.
ran out. So we moved back to the States, but I think that when our son graduates high school next year, we would think about moving back.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I was looking at properties today.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
where to?
really, really disappointed with the possible Brexit deal, because now
Yeah.
the pound is coming back up, and so it's more expensive for me to buy here.
Yeah, but it's worth it, though. We'd love to have you over here.
Yeah, I would love to live here again. It's great.
What is your, when you touch down in the UK, what's, I suppose, your beeline for food or places? I mean, do you ever take trips back to Somerset?
We do, yeah. We kept
Oh.
our farm there for years and years and years
Yeah.
after we moved away from here. We just sold it this past year. I always go to Hatchard's, the bookstore off
Okay.
of Piccadilly. It's one of my favorite bookstores. We always eat at a restaurant called Maggie Jones.
Okay.
And what else do we always do when we're here?
Sleep.
Yes.
Sleep.
Yeah. The jet lag is
Always
real.
a busy schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, my wife was like, oh, I'm so jealous you get to go back to London and spend
Yeah.
a few days there and do cool stuff. But really, I mean, we left the hotel at whatever it was, 9:15 this morning, and I guess we're done at 6, so maybe we can go out and grab dinner. But I really wanted to go to the Tate and see the
Yeah.
William Blake exhibit there.
Do you get recognised in the UK, sort of?
Can I tell you some
Let's-
fun? The last time that Blink was on tour here, we played 2 nights at the O2.
Yeah.
And so we played the first night, and then the morning of going to the second show, we went to the V&A Museum because my wife
Yeah.
wanted to see an exhibit going on there. And we walked in the museum, and there's a guy wearing a shirt sold at the show the night before.
Did you tweet about this?
I did.
Yes.
He was
I
wearing a
remember.
Blink-182 shirt that we had just sold the night before, and he's kind of sitting on a bench. And I walk up to him, and he looks up, and I go, "Hey, that's a cool shirt." And he kind of goes, "Oh," and he looks down and he goes, "Oh yeah, Blink-182." And his mom is standing there with him. I mean, he's probably in his early 20s or something, but his mom goes, "He was at the show last night." And I go, "Yeah, me too." And they go, "Oh, okay."
Oh, no.
And so I was like, "Okay, cool." And so I walked off. And then we were leaving the museum, and literally a woman was walking directly at me wearing a Blink shirt, and I'm walking directly at her. And we passed each other, and I go, "Hey, cool shirt." And she goes, "Mm-hmm."
Oh, no. What a terrible missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Talking of UK fans, I'm going to bring someone in at the moment. This is Chris.
Hi,
Come on
Chris.
over, Chris. You've probably seen so many Blink-182 tattoos in your time, because I can imagine there's a lot of fans wanting tattoos
Yeah.
of your brands and whatever. Where does this one scale from 1 to 10?
I didn't think this was happening today.
Come on,
I thought I'd
let's
put
see
down in the
it.
corner and that'd be cute.
Okay.
I've got a tattoo here, and I got it 8 years ago. Here.
Wow.
And it's like all the albums on the
That's
arrows.
cool. Look at
But it's
that.
kind of spread. It's gone kind of
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
it's great.
he's playing it down.
You got
like Give the Drummer Some,
Yeah,
Travis's album.
exactly.
A couple dates of Seen You Live.
Super cool.
A few of last year's I haven't got done, but
That's great.
What you
Thank you
saying?
for that. That's one of the better ones.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
well, thank you. This is very weird.
Even-
being-
It's always awkward when someone comes up and it's like, "Oh, check out my Blink-182 tattoo," and it's like the dancing rabbit, but it looks like a melted koala bear. And you're like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Yeah, my buddy gave me this when I was in 10th grade." Yeah, no shit. It looks like it.
Oh, no. Does that make you feel better now?
that was. This is weird. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the tattoo. That's great.
Look, so Gordon Smart, who does the RadioX evening show, his sort of signature question is, and he probably wouldn't forgive me if I didn't ask, so I will ask about your worst gig. And I think I might have read about this as well. You played in front of 0 people at the
Yes.
very, very beginning. And then at the very end, I think the bar manager came over and instead of alcohol gave you some really crappy drink.
Well, okay, so here's what it was.
Okay.
We called. Here's what we used to do. We used to call clubs and just say, "Can we play your club? Can we play your club? Can we play your event? Can we do it?" We used to call everybody. Finally, this biker bar in San Diego said, "Fine, it was like a Tuesday night. Come on down, set up your stuff. You guys can play." Awesome. So we drove down, loaded up my mom's station wagon, drove down there, unloaded. There was literally one guy sitting at the bar and the bartender. We set up our stuff. There was no microphone. Like, we're like, "Oh, we're supposed to bring our own PA?" So we just played instrumental, played one song. The guy goes, "Hey, guys, can you turn down a little bit, please?" Like,
Oh,
okay, cool.
no.
So we turned down, played another song. Guys, can you just turn down a little more? We played a third song. And he goes, "All right, that's cool. You guys are done. But you can have a Snapple."
Yeah, apple. Yeah. Which is equivalent in the UK. What is that? Just like a.
It's just like a fruit drink.
Yeah, like an apple juice,
Yeah,
isn't it, or something? Oh, bless you guys. Well, look, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations on the new album. So excited that we'll be seeing you next year in the UK. Matt and Mark, blink-182, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Radio X.